Blessed be everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a petition spell to help you balance your chakras, focusing today on the heart chakra. So if you've been feeling any sadness or grief or hurt or loss, any of those feelings that resonate with the heart chakra, and you're wanting to do a bit of a healing on them for yourself, then this is the video for you. But before we dive into that, hi, I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path. And if you want to craft your Wiccan path and practice the wonderful practices and rites of Wicca and Witchcraft, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. The rite that we're going to do today can be done to balance any of the chakras or to help you with any chakra work that you may be doing. So there's many different ways that you can work with the chakras and help balance the energy. This is just one of the complementary ways that you can do it. So if you feel the need to do it on any of the other chakras, you can use exactly the same process. You'll just be focusing on the themes for those individual chakras. When it comes to the heart chakra, the theme is, of course, about love. It's about self-love, it's about compassion, it is about feeling worthy of love and being able to give love. But before you can give love, you have to be able to receive love, and you have to be able to love yourself. And this can be really difficult in a world where we grow up learning not to love ourselves. We learn that to be loving means that we put ourselves last and everyone else first. We learned that it's not right to love yourself. It's called being arrogant or being narcissistic. People don't really understand what self-love is. Self-love isn't narcissism in the negative sense of the word. Self-love doesn't mean that you only care about yourself and not everybody else. Self-love is about you accepting yourself and being able to appreciate yourself and take care of yourself and feel okay doing it. Because when you can love yourself and you can take care of yourself, you're quite okay about helping other people and taking care of them too, if that it resonates with where you're at. It allows you to be more discerning with who you give to and who you don't give to. Because when you understand that as a spiritual being, you don't have to be give all the time. There are times when giving is not the right thing to do. So it's understanding that and being able to take that empowerment around your heart. But because we grow up in a world full of discrimination, full of hurt, full of hate, there's so many negative aspects to humanity and to the ego, and it's the ego that creates all of these things. That often will come away from an experience or a situation where we're feeling hurt, we're feeling sadness in the heart, anguish in the heart, feeling loss, feeling grief. And you may not even realize that it's actually the heart chakra that is hurt, that it's been hurt. Because the feelings can come in other ways. You might feel fear, you might feel anger, you might feel frustration. But when you really look at how you're feeling and what you're reacting to, you'll see that there's a lot of grief and sadness and anguish and hurt in the heart. And so this rite is a way to acknowledge it and bring some peace back. Because it's important to acknowledge your feelings. It's important to know that you're feeling hurt or loss or grief, sadness. It's important to acknowledge these things because our emotions are our guidance system, and they guide us to know when something's not working for us, something's not right, something is dangerous. They just let us know something isn't right. And then we have the ability then to discern whether it is just part of our imagination or whether it truly is something that needs to be taken care of. So once we've got the message from the emotions that something's wrong and we've dived into it to see what the cause is, it's time to hang up the phone on those emotions, because we don't need to be feeling those emotions over and over and over and over and over again. We can let them go and then get on with doing whatever it is we need to do about the situation. When it comes to hurt with the heart, sometimes there's things that are unavoidable. Like you can't always be in control of what's going on around you. So if there are people or groups of people or mindsets or beliefs that you find are causing hurt, because maybe there's hatred aimed at you, or there's discrimination aimed at you, there's apartheid aimed at you, these things hurt, and yes, you can do things about them, but you really got to work with your own heart so that these things don't weigh you down and don't cause you then to act out and become just as hateful, just as discriminatory, and basically just as bad as they are. So all you need for this is a white piece of paper and a blue pen. And on the piece of paper, you're just going to write down what you're feeling and maybe what the situation may be. You can write it in sentences, you could write it in poetry, or you can just write it in words. I've just quickly jotted down some words here that I've decided to use for this. I'm using a green candle because it's associated with the color of the heart chakra. And I'm using some salt. Okay, salt to purify and to cleanse. So let's get on with the rite. So I've got here my green candle. With candle magic, it's a good idea to trim your wicks down to a particular size, because a long wick like this one is going to possibly totally fizzle out even before you've started really getting on with the spell. So if you can use a wick trimmer, like one of these devices here, they just measure the right length of the wick, and you'll get a much better burning experience with your candle if the wick is actually the right length. Otherwise, just use a pair of sharp scissors. Dress your candle. For this spell, you can just use plain olive oil. You may want to use rose oil, patchouli oil, anything that you can connect with the heart or with healing. And because you're wanting to draw the healing into you, you will anoint the candle, address the candle towards you, going down the length of the candle. And you have here your petition. So sit for a moment when you're doing any type of rite and focus on what it is that you are doing. What have you come here to do in this spell or this rite? It's to focus on the feelings, so allowing yourself to feel the hurt, the sadness, the anguish, grief, loss, what it feels like to perhaps have hatred aimed at you, to perhaps have discrimination, to maybe being a victim of apartheid or whatever it is. What does that feel like for you? It hurts probably, or maybe you've lost someone or something close to you. Maybe you've had a job loss. Maybe you've had maybe you're entering into a situation that that is a change for you, that is a loss of an old way of being, an old way of living, and into a new way of being. And even though this new way of being may actually even be a good thing, sometimes you can feel hurt and loss and grief over something that you've just been so used to, even though it's good to move on. So when you're focused on how you feel, focusing on the heart chakra area, what that feels like, it's time then to light your candle and just allowing the flame to just give you something to focus on and concentrate on. Honor how you feel, and then with your salt, just sprinkling it on your petition. And just imagine the salt as just taking up all of that energy. It's absorbing the hurt, it's absorbing the sadness, it's absorbing the anguish. And just see it absorb and cleanse those feelings away. And you can take a little bit of salt and just sprinkle it on the candle as well. I cleanse and purify my heart, and I heal it of all obstructive emotions. I honor the hurt, the sadness and anguish, and I peacefully release these burdens And as you're meditating on the candle, the flame, you can just imagine the heart chakra, this green energy around the heart chakra. And just feel that green energy and the energy of the heart chakra, and that it's opening up again. Because when any of the chakras have been traumatized, or you've had something happen that's traumatized you in one way or the other, and it's affecting particular chakras, it will close the chakra. So when it comes to the heart chakra, you'll find that the problem is that when you're experiencing hurt, sadness, anguish, or if you've been the victim of any type of hatred or discrimination or harm, you're going to shut down your own heart chakra. You're going to close it off, and that leaves you very vulnerable to then also becoming a perpetrator of the very things that you've had happen to you. So you want to make sure that these negative experiences don't close your heart chakra, that you can heal it and allow it still to be open at the same time. So spend time watching the flame, burning the candle, seeing that green resonating with that part of the heart chakra in your chest area. Allow yourself just to absorb the feelings of that green energy. And if you're using a small candle like this one, it doesn't take too long for the candle to burn down. You can do this every day. So you can use the same candle, just snuff it out when you've finished, and then once the candle has burned all the way down, then you can take your petition and either burn it or just rip it up and discard it, because then you're no longer needing this hurt, this sadness, this anguish. You've finished with it, and it's time then to remove it. Candle spells are some of the most beautiful ways to work with magic. I teach candle magic in the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy course, and they're just such a beautiful way of working with magic. There's so many different things you can do with candles and with the healing energy. And if you are interested in learning more about witchcraft and Wicca, and it's time that you feel it's time to actually start practicing and getting connected to your spirituality, then do have a look at the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy. It's a 12-month course for those of you interested in walking the Wiccan path and getting down and really practicing it so that you can have meaning in your life, live your purpose, and feel that connection to who and what you really are. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.